Hey, Deb, you have some real nerve. Do you know that? I mean, really, just what kind of game are you trying to play here? I want to know why you're hanging out with my fiancé so much. Just what are you getting at? Wait, what? What is all this about? Who even are you and how did you get my number? Wait a second, I recognize the name now. Isn't this Lindsay? We used to work together, right? I remember now, I used to be your supervisor. That's right. I'm glad you deem me worthy enough to remember. But what I want to know is just what do you think you're doing hanging around with my boyfriend all the time? Your boyfriend? I don't even know who that is. Oh, don't you play dumb with me. You're not fooling anyone at all, you know. Just come out and admit it. You've been stalking my boyfriend for a long time now, and I know it. You think that I'm stalking someone? I literally don't even know the person who I would be stalking. This is just ridiculous. What's ridiculous is the fact that you're almost 50 years old now, right? So what I want to know is why an old hag like you is hanging around with a young man in his 20s. Don't you see how wrong that is for you to do that? Look, Lindsay, I can promise you that I'm not stalking anyone at all, okay? You're lying to me and I know it. I've seen you do it myself so many times. I know that you're stalking my boyfriend, and it is seriously starting to piss me off, so just quit it. I still literally don't even know who you're talking about right now. I talk to and hang out with a lot of different people, so it's possible that your boyfriend is one of those people, but you still haven't even told me who that is. Tall guy, always wears a suit, broad shoulders. Does that ring enough bells for you? I work in an office where everyone wears suits, so no, if that's all you have to describe this person, then I still have no clue. Why don't you just tell me this person's name so we can stop playing this text version of Guess Who? You really think that I'm going to use my boyfriend's name in a conversation with his stalker? I wouldn't dream of it. Well, that's your choice, I suppose. But I just really think that this is the least effective way to go about doing this. I don't remember asking your opinion on that. Just make sure that you keep away from my boyfriend. Do you understand me? I literally don't understand you because first of all, I'm not stalking anyone, and second of all, I'm married. I literally have a husband and a son. I don't believe this. You're even worse than I thought. You mean to tell me that you have a loving family at home and you choose to go after my poor boyfriend? Although, I bet if I had to guess, my boyfriend would probably have to be around the same age as your son. Which makes all of this even worse. You're disgusting trying to go after someone your son's age. You're an old, washed-up cow and you need to learn to stick to your own age bracket. Got it? I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell you that there is no stalking going on before you believe me. Shut up! I am sick and tired of having this conversation. Just make sure that you never, ever go near my boyfriend. Ever again. Oh, David, I'm home.
Welcome back, Mom. I really missed you. I can't believe your work sent you on an overseas business trip for 6 whole months.
Thank you, son. It really is nice to be back. I can't believe that I was gone for so long either. You know, I was actually supposed to arrive yesterday, but the weather was just awful. And then there were technical problems with my plane, and it was just a disaster.
Well, I'm just glad that you're back today. After all, I'm getting married tomorrow, and I was worried that you weren't gonna make it when you told me you were pushing your arrival back.
I really am sorry for worrying you. I was pretty worried about missing it myself. More than that, though, I feel so bad that I haven't been able to meet your fiancé once. I know that you both started dating a while before I left, but we were always so busy, and then I left for my trip.
Well, don't worry. You two will have plenty of time to get to know each other from here on out, and you'll finally get to meet her at the wedding. I've told her all about you, so I think you should just rest up and get ready for tomorrow.
That's very sweet of you, David. And yes, I really should go get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for the big day.
Have a nice night, Mom.
You too, sweetie. I'm so proud of you. Okay, now you've really gone too far, Deb. Just what the heck do you think you're doing at my wedding right now, huh? I thought I told you to stay away from my boyfriend, so why are you here on my big day? Please don't tell me that the boyfriend you were telling me to stay away from back then is the same man that you're marrying now. Of course it is. David's my fiancé, and by the end of the day, he'll be my husband. But before that can happen, I needed to make sure that you left so you didn't ruin the whole thing. I know that you were up to something. And is that really your excuse for what you did to me? The moment you saw my face, you grabbed me by the collar and dragged me out of the venue and threw me on the lawn. Then, when I tried to get back in, you told the staff to make sure that I didn't step a foot inside. Just what are you trying to pull with that, huh? What do you mean, what am I planning? My plan is to keep an old cradle robber like you out of my wedding so that I can marry my fiancé in peace. Be that as it may, I'm only here to watch my son get married. Well, you must have gotten the wrong place, because the only wedding happening here today is ours. That's exactly what I mean. This is the wedding that I'm trying to attend. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have no idea what you're saying. Maybe you're already getting Alzheimer's, you old hag. Let me spell this out for you then. David is my son. I am David's mother. Get it now? Wait, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's make this even simpler. My last name is Fairbanks, right? David's last name is Fairbanks. Are you starting to put it together now? I don't know if you just never picked up on that, or just didn't bother to even ask to see a picture of your own fiancé's mother. And I'm also sorry that as his mother, I didn't make more of an effort to meet you. You're not making any sense at all right now, Deb. I mean, just how can David be your son? I guess the ages would make sense for you to be his mom, but just because you have the same last name doesn't mean you two are related. Besides, I remember that in the office you used to go by Baker. Right. Well, that was my maiden name. Your maiden name? Are you kidding me? I guess I'll explain all this to you too. When I first started working for the company where you later joined, I was unmarried and all the paperwork there had me under my maiden name. Apparently, it would have been a lot of paperwork and a big hassle to edit everything in the system, so I just told my boss to not worry about it and keep using my maiden name for simplicity's sake. I think that if you ask around where you work for other women who started single and got married on the job, you'll see that this isn't uncommon. No, that can't be right. You're just making up excuses and trying to confuse me, aren't you? You really think that I'm going to be fooled by some perverted grandma like you so easily? Sounds to me like you just don't want to admit that I'm really David's mother. Of course I don't want to admit that because it's simply not true. David told me that his mom manages her own company that deals with overseas trade. Basically, she's the total opposite of the sad, pathetic stalker that you are. She's actually done something with her life and owns her own company. She even went on a business trip for 6 months in another country. I doubt you've ever done anything like that in your life. And today is going to be the first day that I meet her. Well, you were mostly correct about everything that you just said. You mean like the part about you being a pathetic stalker? I'm well aware. Anyways, why don't you go ahead and tell David that his mother has gone home? Wait, what do you mean? Just tell him that you and I had a chance to meet and that I went home afterwards. I can't believe you're still trying to peddle this lie to me.
Hey, Mom, where are you? I've been waiting around since early this morning to see you. I really want you to come and meet Lindsay before everything starts.
Oh, we actually just met, dear. Didn't you hear from Lindsay?
What do you mean, so you're here already?
Well, about 20 minutes ago, I introduced myself, and she started screaming about how I was stalking you. Then she threw me out of the venue and prevented me from going back in. Just mention her old boss, Miss Baker. I'm sure she'll get the message.
Lindsay said that you were stalking me. I don't get it.
She did, and now I'm on my way to the emergency room.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, when she threw me out of your wedding, I tripped down some stairs and fell on my knee. It's starting to swell up a bit, so I think I need to get it checked out.
But I don't get it. Besides, didn't you come with Dad? Where is he?
Your dad was busy parking the car, and then apparently he forgot something and had to go back to the parking lot. It was all while he was away that this happened. But he's with me now and taking me to the hospital. Anyways, if you wouldn't mind telling Lindsay that I'm actually your mother, I think it would save us all a lot of time.
Right, got it.
This can't be happening. I don't believe it. You really were his mother this whole time. Why didn't you tell me before I did what I did? But I did tell you. I explained to you in great detail, actually. But you should have done more to make me understand. Well, I wanted to tell you in person, but before I could get a word out, you threw me down the steps. After that, I had no choice but to type it all out for you. Except you decided to ignore all of that and continue to treat me like a stalker. But that's only because I really did think you were lying. I mean, I thought that you were just some jealous old lady who quit because she knew she couldn't compete with me. But I had no idea that you left to start your own business and travel all over the world. Well, you basically took the words from my mouth. I only left that old job to start my own business. Me quitting didn't have anything to do with you, though. It didn't, at all? Although I do remember you quite clearly from those days, and it doesn't seem like you've changed one bit. Well, please come back to the wedding. It's okay now that I know you're really David's mom. I believe you now. I'm afraid I couldn't do that if I wanted to. I'm at the hospital right now because of what you did to my knee. So, you won't come back? David, please, you have to reconsider. I really am so sorry. I didn't do it to be mean. I just made a little mistake.
I just want to ask one thing, Lindsay. When you saw me walk up to you with my mom, did you really think that I was just having a casual chat with a woman who was stalking me? It's not like I haven't shown you any picture of my mom. Did you really just not realize that her and my so-called stalker were the same person?
I just don't remember, that's all.
You've got to be kidding me.
I really didn't know they were the same person.
Even if you didn't, you acted before you even bothered checking who my mom really was. You didn't even try to use your words or act like a responsible adult. And that's why I knew that I just couldn't marry you.
Please, we can still make this work.
Maybe you can, but I can't. I never want to hear from you again.
When I got to the hospital on the day of what was supposed to be my son's wedding, I was grateful that my doctor said my knee wasn't seriously injured. Apparently, Lindsay somehow heard that the injuries were quite light and tried to use that to get David to take her back. She told him that I was going to make a full recovery and that in the end there was no permanent damage. so there was no point in canceling the marriage. In response, David told her that he was going to send her my hospital bills, as well as the cancellation fees for all their wedding plans. When she heard just how much that was going to be in total, she knew she couldn't pay it and begged even harder to put this all behind them. Of course, my son just ignored her, but Lindsay didn't give up and continued to follow David around, begging him to take her back. Finally, David felt like he had no choice but to go to the court and ask for a restraining order from his crazy stalker.
Hey, Jane, pick up! What the hell is going on? I get back from work to find some divorce papers on the table, and all of yours and Olivia's belongings are gone! Explain yourself!
Stop it. The notifications are annoying me.
Jane, what's going on? What led to you wanting to divorce me?
I can't take being with you anymore. So we're getting a divorce.
What?
I said I can't take being with you anymore. Can you read English?
No, not that. Your explanation really doesn't tell me much. Tell me why. I want to know why exactly you can't take being with me anymore.
Oh, come on. Do you really have no idea? The fact you can't give me a straight answer tells me that you don't know why. Family discord.
Fine. I'm just gonna come out and say it. But if you insist on having this out, I think it's you and Olivia who are at fault, not me.
What?
I'm the breadwinner in this house. I work all the time because all I want is to provide a normal household for you and her. But in spite of that, how long has it been now? What was it, like 6 years ago? You started bad-mouthing me all of a sudden for no reason. And eventually, even Olivia started following suit. She calls me an old man, a cringe-lord. She says I stink. Basically, she says whatever she wants to me. And you never do anything about it.
Well, you are getting old, so it can't be helped, can it?
She even cuts up my ties and suits and tosses them in the garbage. I suppose that can't be helped either? She sprays deodorant in my face for crying out loud. To think she treats someone who's supposed to be her dad like that, no matter how much you try and downplay it as, oh, it's just puberty or a rebellious phase, it's too far. What's worse, far from just turning a blind eye, you just stand there laughing and actively encourage it. Isn't it a mother's job to punish that kind of behavior?
Olivia's already in her 3rd year of middle school. She's got her high school entrance exams coming up soon. I don't want to do anything that could cause her unnecessary stress and make her studies difficult. You, on the other hand, completely ignore her feelings and try to play the part of a doting father.
Play the part?
You do things like try to curry favor with us by buying us cakes, or spend excessive amounts of time doing housework. And finally, you summon us to the living room for weird family meetings. To tell you the truth, you're really annoying.
Annoying? If the two of you would actually give me a proper explanation as to why you're so cruel to me all the time, I wouldn't have to constantly walk around on eggshells and fumble around in the dark for answers. No matter what I do, the two of you do nothing but hurl abuse at me. Is it so strange that I want to try and make things better somehow? The reason I suggested those meetings was so we could all sit together and discuss things properly, as a family.
Yes, and I'm saying it's annoying. Anyway, putting how I feel about you aside, if you don't understand how to keep an appropriate distance from Olivia, I wanted you to at least to accept your ignorance and leave her alone.
What the?
I'm bored of this discussion now. The point is, me and you are getting a divorce.
Where are you now? Didn't you say you don't have any family to rely on? Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Shut up! Don't bother trying to get an address out of me because you won't get one.
No, I'm genuinely worried.
Goodbye.
Hey, old man! Are you still alive? You didn't kick the bucket already, did you?
Olivia, are you with your mother?
What does that have to do with you?
I'm worried about you. I heard Mom quit her part-time job. I also heard she's been estranged from her family since way back and hasn't spoken to any of them in years. Can the two of you really get by when she doesn't have anyone she can rely on? Huh?
Lol, I laughed in real life. And accidentally typed it into a message.
What are you talking about?
Mom told me not to tell you anything. So, basically, I'm not telling you anything.
Olivia, show some respect!
Oh, do make sure you keep up with my child support payments, though. I have a future to think about, you know. I plan on going to a private high school, and that's going to cost some money. Including my pocket money, I expect at least $750 a month from you. You know my bank details, right?
No, I need to discuss this with your mother first.
Anyway, I got nothing more to say to you, so bye, cringy old man.
Stop that, Olivia!
Steve, do you have a minute?
Hey, Mom. What's up?
It might take some time. Is now good for you?
Sure. I'm on the train right now, so I can send normal messages. What's up?
Well, you see, the thing is, Olivia came over to my house.
Huh? Olivia?
She turned up all of a sudden with a huge suitcase. She announced she'd be living with me because her mom's annoying.
What the heck? It's been like 7 years since you last saw Olivia, right? Ever since then, I've been the only one visiting you.
Right. I didn't even realize who it was at first, with her hair being blonde now.
Blonde? Oh, she must have dyed it when she left the house. What else did she say?
She did nothing but storm around in a huff, making nonsensical complaints about how the world's against her. You know, usual teenage stuff. I'm pretty sure her and Jane had some kind of fight, though.
I see.
You said yours and Jane's divorce was already finalized, right? And it was Jane who took custody of Mimi?
That's right. I had no intention of fighting her over it. Olivia had no interest in me being her dad to begin with. Far from it, she was hateful all the time, constantly calling me things like cringy and stinky. She made my life hell.
She does know I'm your mother, doesn't she? I'm hardly going to look favorably on anyone who treats my son like that. I wonder if she even realizes.
I guess she just has nowhere else to go. I think you already know this, but Jane's totally estranged from her family and relatives. They haven't spoken in years. That's why Olivia doesn't know any of her relatives on her mom's side.
Does that mean she hasn't even met her other grandparents?
That's right.
I wonder what happened between her and Jane, though. I know she has nowhere else to go, but even still. I can't believe she'd show up at my house of all places.
Here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna let Jane know Olivia's with you.
Oh? Are you still in contact with her?
I'm still able to get messages to her through the lawyer who represented me through the divorce. I don't have custody of her anymore. So the thing is, we're basically strangers now. Which is why, even while it may be what Olivia thinks she wants right now, if we let her stay at your place without telling her mom, we could end up being accused of kidnapping if we're not careful.
You do have a point. It does pain me to ask you to do this, but I do think it's best you get in touch with Jane. Would you mind?
Okay. I'll get back to you when I've made the arrangements for her to be picked up.
Got it. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, it's me, Olivia. Reply to me, now! I said reply, now!
What?
Your replies are slow.
I just got off from work. What do you want? I'm not allowed to use my phone while I'm working.
Is that really the sort of thing you say when your beloved daughter is in a pinch?
You're not beloved, and you're certainly not my... Ugh. What do you want?
You make me so mad. How about you just listen to me for once? I can't stand you. Look, it's Mom. She invited her new boyfriend to live with us at the house. They're always making out even in front of me. It's so gross. It's like she forgot she has a daughter in middle school to take care of. I couldn't stand living with them anymore, so I've been staying with Grandma the last few days. But then, yesterday Mom showed up, lost her temper and yelled at me, then dragged me back to the house. I'm so mad I could scream! She's the worst! I hate her! That's why I ran away, and she'll never find me this time.
Ugh. Anyway, what do you want? Why are you telling me this?
Oh, well, I'm gonna head back to your place now.
What?
You and Mom are already divorced and all, which means you're probably gonna start fighting over custody for me soon, right? So here's what I'm thinking. I'm willing to tell the court that you're the one I want to look after me.
No. Listen, Olivia. It'd be really inconvenient to have you living with me again.
Well, you saying it'd be inconvenient for you is really inconvenient for me. Lol. I'll be arriving there in about an hour, so see you soon. I bet you can't wait for another opportunity to get along with your daughter.
My daughter?
It's your duty as my dad to look after me.
I see. I take it your mom still hasn't told you then.
Huh? Oh, wait. Do you mean you guys already fought over custody for me and you won?
Wrong.
Well, what then?
To tell you the truth, I don't really feel like I should be the one telling you this.
Telling me what? Spit it out! Stop acting so self-important and tell me!
Olivia?
What? Stop screwing around and just tell me!
You're not my daughter.
What? I'm not your real daughter?
Your mother and I got married when you were 2 years old. Basically, I'm not your real dad.
What?
Your mom and I did plan on telling you this once you got a little older, when we thought you'd be able to understand it better. But we divorced before we made it that far.
Huh? What? Hold up, hold up! Who's gonna take custody of me then?
Right, about that. I'm sorry, Olivia, but I didn't technically even adopt you in the first place. Which means that now that your mom and I are divorced, you and I are both legally speaking and in actual fact, complete strangers.
Oh my god! Oh, where does that leave me then? What am I meant to do now? You spring this on me now when I'm already on my way to your house? I'll be arriving soon! Ugh!
I don't live at that house anymore.
What?
I got promoted to a new role and transferred to a company branch in the city, so I moved out the other day.
That's fine. I'll live with you at your new place then.
Sorry, but this is a dormitory exclusively for guys living on their own, provided by the company. And kids are most definitely not allowed, so that won't be possible.
Well, move somewhere I'll be able to live with you then. No matter what might have happened between us, we still lived together for 13 whole years. Blood relation or not, I'm your daughter.
Oh, really? Did you forget all about that letter you left behind?
Oh my god, no I didn't!
I found it in a drawer while I was getting my things together. You made it abundantly clear that we're total strangers now, huh? I mean, it's not like you're wrong. We really are strangers, so I don't actually care. Why would I look after or provide for a complete stranger in any way, shape, or form? It just doesn't make sense.
No, wait! That was just... I wrote that as a joke! I didn't mean it!
You're 15 years old, Olivia. It's about time you learned to take responsibility for the things you say.
But... no, please!
Besides, the new dad you were so happily boasting about in that poisonous letter of yours is Mom's new boyfriend, who you were just complaining about, right? I figured it out ages ago. Taking the time I found the letter and our divorce date into consideration, I can only conclude your mom must have been seeing him behind my back while we were still married.
Oh, no.
Which means I'll be talking this through with my lawyer and suing your mother and lover boy for as much as I possibly can. There's no doubt about it. Large amounts of money will be changing hands. And since she was hardly rich to begin with, It's not unreasonable to assume there will be a big knock on events on your life from here on out. I hope you're prepared, Olivia. Things are about to get a hell of a lot more difficult than they've been for you until now.
Dad!
It's been a while since I've heard you say that word.
Please!
Too little, too late. Goodbye. Olivia reluctantly went back to live with her mom and her boyfriend. But their finances took a catastrophic hit when I took them to court, and they were forced to pay compensation for their affair. When Jane's boyfriend heard I found out about the affair through Olivia, he ended the relationship, packed his things, and left immediately. Mother-daughter relations hit an all-time low, and things became so tense and stormy that Olivia was banned from registering for her high school entrance exams. My mom told me Olivia showed up at her house again and begged her once more to take her in. But with a stern exclamation of, "I am not your grandmother," she was sent back on her sorry way. Apparently she never went back to her mom's house, and I have no idea where she is or how she's getting by these days. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of how the lives of my abusive ex-wife and her toxic brat of a daughter hit rock bottom. It might seem a bit heartless of me, but to tell you the truth, I'm super relieved